It's after these final judgments and the final rebellion that we will transit fully into eternity. And what exactly is eternity and what will happen during eternity? Eternity is really that fullness and culmination of God's plan for us as people. And it's really that culmination point of all history. Revelation 21 verse 3 says, "And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God." And it's really at this point when the final rebellion is crushed that Jesus would actually welcome Father even back onto this earth to actually tabernacle with men. And really that's that fullness, that ultimate redemptive plan of God, where God the Father will come and we will actually tabernacle with him forever. As Ephesians 1 verse 10 did say that in the dispensation of the fullness of times, God is going to bring heaven and earth, and this will be that ultimate fullness when we will be with God forever once again. So Revelation 21 verses 1 to 8 actually gives this big picture of eternity. We see that there will be a new heavens and a new earth, where Jesus will actually cleanse the earth with fire to make it fully ready for the Lord to come back. And in verse 3 it says that God will actually tabernacle with men once again. We'll also see that there'll be no more sea in verse 1. There'll be no more death, sorrow, crying or pain in verse 4. There'll also be no more curse, Revelation 22 verse 3. And there'll also be no more night, Revelation 22 verse 5. All of this, actually during the millennial kingdom, we still do see it partially taking place. And it's only in eternity where there'll be none of this left. And really, it's not that we won't feel anymore. It's not that we don't feel sorrow or pain anymore. But it's just that because we will be dwelling with the Lord, there'll be that fullness of joy in his presence. That really there'll be nothing that will cause us any more pain or any more sorrow, or any more crying or tears. And I'm sure that this is something that all of us do look forward to. The other thing about eternity is that the New Jerusalem will actually descend fully onto earthly Jerusalem. If we look at Revelation 21 verse 2, John actually saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God and prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And Revelation 21 9 to 22 5 actually gives this description of what the New Jerusalem is, which is really that final dwelling place of the saints. And if we really study these scriptures and read through them, we actually see that they parallel the Garden of Eden in Genesis very closely. There's a river in the New Jerusalem, just like there are rivers in the Garden of Eden. There are going to be trees in the New Jerusalem as well, and just like there are trees even in the Garden of Eden. And that tabernacling of men with God is brought back and restored, where Adam walked with God in the cool of the garden. The same thing, we will be walking with God even in eternity in that New Jerusalem. So again, we see that really this is God's restoration plan. We are heading back to Garden of Eden where everything started. This is what the Lord has always wanted for us. This is where men will find the fullness of our destiny, the fullness of who we are as people who dwell with the Lord, who tabernacle with the Lord, and who live in such close fellowship, and even enjoying the love and the joy that comes from tabernacling with God. So really that's that picture of where we're headed to eternity. And to wrap up, really that's what salvation is all about and what heaven is all about. It's more than just a place. It's more than just a place where there's no more pain, no more sorrow, although that's a good thing. But really at the end of the day, salvation and heaven is really all about being where God is, being with the Lord, relating with him in that love relationship. And we hope that this session has even caused us to even long a little bit more, yearn a little bit more for the return of Jesus and for that greater reality of dwelling with the Lord, tabernacling with him, being with him in that relationship. So we've come to the end of this session, and we will see you at the next session.